Next, we have discussion and possible approval of resolution 22 appointing the membership of the Board of Fire and Police Commissions.
Hi, you guys, welcome back. So, we are taking you back to 2022 when Tiffany was still a little fresh in her mayor's position. In this board meeting, we're going to be looking at Tiffany trying to get the trustees to agree with her. That seems to be the thing, right? She's always trying to get them to do something they're a little hesitant on. I wonder why. That being said, let's get into the first clip.
Can I have a motion to appoint the board members for the Fire and Police Commission?
A motion.
Is there a second?
You see how long that took? There was such a pause in between for someone to come in and second, because they're like, oh my goodness, here we go. We got to go ahead and deal with this again. Let's go ahead and hear, because Kiana does second it.
Is there a second for the appointment?
I second.
Okay, there's a motion, there's a second. Any discussion?
I do have discussion. Can I be recognized?
Sure.
I had sent the email back when this agenda came out asking, could someone let us know who would possibly be on the board and some information, resumes or anything. I never received anything back. So prior to us making this decision to vote, we still don't know who these people are that are being appointed to the Fire and Police Commission for 2022.
You can just see her face as she's talking. She's kind of like, yes. So, I sent a request for information about the resumes, trying to see who these people are, trying to just, get some background information like, sane people do, like people who really care about who's being in charge of such important positions. Okay. You would think that's a reasonable thing to say, that you asked for. Let's see Tiffany's response.
Okay. You and I had discussion as it relates to agreeing to move forward with creating this committee. And it's the same people that I placed this agenda 3 times last year to basically create this so we could stop hiring laterals and actually get new blood, meaning young officers.
So the thing about Tiffany is you have to listen to every single thing she says, because she's just going to ramble on and she's going to get past certain points that you should have paid attention to as she was saying it, because that's the point. She wants to ramble on and continue until by the time she gets done talking, you might have forgotten about some of those things she said. Well, that's why I'm here to break it down, okay? So what she said is that her and Kiana had a discussion about the importance of moving it forward to create the committee. And then she's also mentioned that, she's brought these people before the board before. It's one thing to tell people about people. It's another thing to actually present their backgrounds, what their experience is, normal things when you're trying to appoint people to like important things like police commission and fire commission. Okay, let's continue.
The people are, and I'll read it into record again: Philip Williams, Robert Sherrill, William Fletchman, Brenda Richardson, and Stanley Moore. Them are the 5 people that I placed on the agenda the last 3 times, the same 5 people.
Excuse me, Mayor Stanley Brown.
Yes, go ahead, Stan.
No, you said Stanley Moore, Stanley Brown.
Oh, I did, I'm sorry. Okay, it was Stanley Brown.
Like, first of all, she doesn't even say his name right. So it's hard to believe that she has all her ducks in a row, that she has all her, T's crossed, I's dots, and all that good stuff. But then at the same time, this little interaction made me wonder, did they do this on purpose to kind of hide, the cronyism going on here? Because we know by now, and from the looks of it, from what I see, this is my opinion, that Stan Brown was just hired on to get in good and then to be a trustee, to be a yes man for Tiffany Henyard. Because that's basically all he does on the board. He's just like, whatever it is, I don't care. We just need to move it along and just go ahead and vote yes. You know, he's just basically a yes man. So I feel like there's something there that she tried to kind of cover up in this moment. You know, always scheming, always planning, plotting ahead, things of that nature. That's just my opinion, you guys. What do you think, though? What do you think about that? Let's go ahead and move on.
Okay, Stanley Brown. So,
Yeah, that's accurate, Mayor. We did have a discussion in reference to it. But at the same time, I guess, well, I'm gonna say my concern is the Police and Fire Commission is very vital to the community because this is the hiring and firing of those officers and firefighters that come into the community. And the guidelines, making sure that these people live in town was one of the guidelines. And also understanding if they even have police, fire, military, EMT, any type of background is actually affiliated with this commission since it is a vital position in the community.
And so this is where we see the real importance of those positions, you guys. So one would think, right, if you're going to hire somebody, or in this case, it's a volunteer position, to be in charge of the hiring and the firing of the police staff and the firefighter staff, that they would have some type of background so they could have some type of insight on what the position entails, how it's handled, how it's ran, just some type of experience in that field at least, in order to make those very important decisions. This seems like a very sane requirement that anyone would want, you know, anyone who didn't have an agenda, you know, that they would be on board with, and they would be like, yeah, you know what, that's right. Maybe they should have some type of background. That way we can feel comfortable when they make that decision to get rid of somebody. Okay. But you guys know, this is, you know who we're dealing with, right? So let's hear what she has to say.
I guess my question or concern, because we are in violation right now, not even having a commission, but are we just placing the people, or had it been published anywhere for people that actually have some type of background in this field to be on the commission?
okay. I'm answering several things that you stated. Yes, we're in violation, but it's not due because of the mayor. It's due because of the board of trustees constantly pushing the can down the road.
Oh my goodness, you guys. Here she goes, blaming the trustees. She's going to figure out a way to blame them, okay? If the world ended tomorrow, guess what? Guess whose fault it is? Yeah, it's the trustees' fault. What, they keep kicking the can down the road. Why? Because they're asking important questions. That's why? Because they're asking questions about the backgrounds of the people who you want to put in charge of hiring and firing the police and the firefighters. Okay, yeah. Gets a little bit more ridiculous, you guys. Let's go ahead and continue.
I've asked several times to create this. When I got in office, I knew how vital and how important this was to have it as a community. By you heading fire, I would thought that you would have been more supportive in selecting and making sure this did move forward. So it's not the mayor that's holding up the board of commissioners, it's the board of trustees. I'm advising and hoping everybody will move forward with a vote to basically get this started because we so desperately need it. As you know, everyone can basically apply, or anyone can apply. This board, when we make it up of these 5 individuals, they cannot do anything different from the law. This board is basically cut and dry.
Mm-hmm. To hear her say they can't do anything different than what the law says, basically. If you guys look at Kiana's face, she's not really convinced of that, okay? Because the experience has been that Tiffany Henyard does what she wants, whether it's within the law or without. At least that's my opinion from what I've been seeing. And those are a lot of the accusations that are going around as well. Let's continue.
So it's nothing that I can do, nothing you guys can do. No one can change or manipulate the law or the state statute as it stands. When people come to apply or do anything of that nature, they go on a list. You have to test. All these things go through this board commission. But I don't understand what would be the back and forth if we could just move forward with board members that do want to serve on a commission and they want to basically start doing things the right way.
So you guys, she doesn't understand, okay? She doesn't understand why the trustees just won't do what she wants them to do and get the people that she wants in those positions. Come on, trustees. Why are you guys asking questions? Why are you guys trying to look out for the good of the community? Just do as Tiffany asked and all shall be fine. It just boggles my mind how she repeatedly just glosses over procedure and she really doesn't care what the trustees say. She's one of those type of people that sit and wait for you to finish talking just so she can start talking. And anyone who's seen any of the board meetings, we see her do this over and over again. She's not actively listening. She's actively waiting for her turn. Okay, you guys, let's move on.
Lately, it's just been on deaf ears because no one wants to vote to move forward.
Okay, but you just stated that it was for people to apply if it was never put out to the public, or it's just solely your appointment of the people, correct?
Okay, I didn't say for to apply for that. I'm talking about to apply if they want to be a fireman, if they want to be a policeman. That's what this board does. I'm saying that by us constantly not having it, no one can do it. We won't get any new blood. It will be the same people. It will be laterals. So by constantly holding this up, we can't move forward is what I'm stating.
Okay, have the past police and fire that was commissioners that was on the board, have they received a formal notification saying that their appointment has been terminated?
There we go. We can always depend on Kiana to ask the good questions, right? You would think it would be a common sense question though, right? You would think, okay, you know, you're going to get rid of people. They're no longer going to be serving in that position, that you would have notified them. Let's go ahead and see what Tiffany has to say.
Well, yeah, we reached out to several of them. Whether they responded or not, I don't recall. I will follow up with that because I know there was probably August. I want to say the date when I put that on there was August when I did do that.
So they never received anything in writing saying that they're no longer part of the commission. Is that correct?
I don't believe they have anything in writing.
Wow. Just the gall that she has just to sit up there and totally admit that she's decided in her mind that she's going to get rid of people, but she's not going to have the common decency and the common courtesy to notify them and not even put it in writing. So below board at this point. And this is early on. So you guys, you see why the trustees are so fed up, why they don't trust her decisions, why they're constantly questioning everything she does. If she sneezes, they should question it, okay? Why are you sneezing? You know, is there a conspiracy behind that sneeze? We need to know. All right. You guys, let's go ahead and move it along.
I guess my concern is we haven't really received any information in regards to these individuals. Prior to me making a decision, I'm wondering, is there any way we can get provided with this information so we know exactly, because this is my first time today. I just wrote it down. I know you said you brought them past us before.
This is not anyone's first time that's on this board right now saying this came before them. Like I stated, you guys have had this 3 different times last year on the agenda with the same 5 people. Nothing has changed. It was just put on here because I spoke with Trustee Belcher and she said, let's move forward. So here we are, and we do the game and the cat and mouse show every time we get to a board meeting. But when we talk in private, she said, let's do it. Other than that,
I did express let's do it. And I did say that the way you went about it was, and I felt was the way that why it was shut down the first time that you put it on there. So please don't try to misinterpret the conversation.
Belcher, you set her straight because I know she's tired of Tiffany blaming her already. And like I said, you guys, this is early in the game. So she's already tired of Tiffany's, pointing the finger at them already. And then, Tiffany has a way of twisting their words around. And that would irritate anybody. If we had a conversation together and then you go when we're in a board meeting and there's only a select amount of time for me to talk, and then you basically get to just grandstand the rest of the meeting and you twist our conversation around to make it seem like now I'm changing my mind, that would piss anyone off. Let's go ahead and continue because Belcher is going to set her straight, of course, like she usually does.
I definitely said we need to move forward because we do need police officers. We do need to do it the right way. But at the same time, just by me and you having a conversation doesn't mean that I agree with the people that you're putting in place. So please do not misinterpret our conversation at all. I did say that. Kiana Belcher did say, let's move forward. We do need to move forward. This is something critical to the community. We have to get a police and fire commission So we can't. There's a lot of illegal things of people being fired or anything that have been in front of, have not been in front of the Police and Fire Commission, which we can put us in a lot of liability. Also speaking, the Police and Fire Commission that was in place, which scheduled to have a meeting June 1st, you canceled that meeting. So please do not say that I don't want this to happen, because I do want it to happen. But I want people to be in there that knows what they're looking for and knows background of police and fire.
Once again, a reasonable request coming from a reasonable person. But, you know, Tiffany, she has to have the last word. She has to put the appearance up that she is right. The trustees are wrong. They're always going against all the good she's doing. Let's hear her response.
Not just Joe Blow smoke. That's what I said. Thank you.
Okay. For the record, trustees, no one's misinterpreting anything that you have said. I'm stating for the record so the people know that you and I have spoke.
So I just want to say, she's always saying, I'm stating for the record, like that means what I'm saying is the absolute truth. I think that's what it means in her head when she says that, because it really doesn't matter if you say that, if what you're going to spew after that is just some twisted misinterpretation of a conversation that you had with someone else. Okay, you guys, I'm going to try not to chime in, but some of the things she says, you know what I'm saying? Let's listen.
And when we spoke on this, you agreed to move forward with this, whether you like individuals or not. Guess what? It's my appointment. So if I'm choosing these 5 individuals to move forward, I don't see what's the issues. Now, as it relates to backgrounds, I don't like when any of you say, should they have a background in this? None of y'all had backgrounds in being trustees, right? But the people gave y'all a chance to sit here and serve the public.
Now, I found this comment she made absolutely absurd. And it just gives you insight into how much she really cares about the people she's going to affect with this commission that she's trying to put together. Okay? It's just crazy to even utter those words that she doesn't think people who are in charge of hiring and firing police officers and firefighters should have any type of background in that field. Like, why not? First of all, for you to just totally gloss over that and say that's not important, it really makes me think there's an agenda there. You guys, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Would that be your first thought? Like, hey, maybe she has something underlying going on. There's certain people she wants in this position for her benefit. That would be my assumption. And I'm thinking that's what some of the trustees are thinking. That's why they're resistant and hesitant on hiring whoever these people are. Not to mention the fact she's not being forthcoming with the backgrounds. Okay, let's continue.
So I'm saying to you is, yes, they have backgrounds in different things. Yes, they're capable of doing their job. This is a voluntary position. And with that being said, no one gets paid. People are using their personal time to basically help community. So I would like your support, meaning the entire board, to move forward and create this committee. If we keep stagnating because people don't like people, and then who do y'all have a problem with? Since everybody says certain people, who? Name them so I can address it.
So here we go. Here's the confrontation. They've already stated the reasons, okay? Which is the background is not there. And they didn't even get their backgrounds. But she's just like, yeah, so what? They don't have backgrounds in that. And it's a voluntary position. So basically she's saying it doesn't really matter who I put in this position because they don't get paid anyway. What? It's crazy to me. First of all, I really don't feel like someone who's in charge of making decisions of hiring and firing police officers and firefighters should not get paid, because there's nothing there to make them really care about those decisions that they're making. There's nothing writing on that. So it's kind of like at that point, they're on their own personal biases. Does that make sense, you guys? Is that normal to have like those type of commissions be people that volunteer from that? And if it is, at least, like I said, have it be people that have experience in those fields. Because I feel it makes a big difference when you have those important decisions, when you're choosing to hire or fire someone and that affects their livelihood, that you have at least some type of experience in that background and know where they're coming from. So you guys, let's put it like this. Let's say you were like a manager for McDonald's, okay? Do you feel it would be appropriate or even fair for you to be in charge of hiring or firing someone who is in the military? let me know what you guys feel, because maybe some people do feel like, oh, well, they have like leadership experience, so I feel they could, be able to handle those other type of leadership responsibilities, even though it has to do with the U.S. Army. So I don't know, you guys, let me know what you feel about this. And I am going to be making another video that kind of coincides with this, because Dolton's recent board meeting had the firefighters involved, because there's been controversy about Tiffany Henyard and the fire department and them and their pensions and their retirement. Just another hot mess situation, you guys. But this video has gotten too long and I don't want to go on and on all night rambling. You guys, let me know what you feel about this whole situation and this board meeting. And once again, you guys, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to leave it a like. And if you're new here, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.